The Little Mermaid reimagined has the same plot as the original movie with small deviations that not only make the story and the characters worse, but the songs too. Because songs in Disney movies are tied to the plot, whether it is to show character growth, motivations and feelings, or simply to move the story forward. It's a clever tool to dump exposition on kids without making it boring or having to explain complicated ideas. That's why the lyrics and the musical performances are as important as the dialogue and the acting. The songs in The Little Mermaid have a purpose, and by changing parts of the story, it significantly affects them. A song, especially in a Disney movie, is nothing more than a scene and the lyrics are the dialogue. It's very easy to remake a movie and change the dialogue because no one knows every line of it. But a song is different. People know the lyrics and just want to sing in the theater and pretend like they're 5 years old again. So Disney can't change the lyrics, or at least not in a significant way, which ends up creating a huge disconnect between the songs and the story. Let's start with Under the Sea. So Sebastian is describing what life under the sea is, but the movie isn't showing any of it. This is extremely confusing to watch because we are now wondering what the hell is he talking about. The newt plays the flute and the carp plays the harp. Why are we looking at turtles? The fluke is the Duke of Soul. What does it even mean? Why are you describing things that don't exist? Are you lying to Ariel? And what's hilarious is that before listing all this, Sebastian says, "Watch this!" What are we watching? Where is the Duke of Soul? It's almost like Under the Sea wasn't made for this movie and the lines don't match with what is happening on screen. Sure, it would probably look too silly in live action, but it's not like the movie isn't. So the song is clearly not working with what they're trying to do, but instead of cutting it, they play the song because they need to let the viewers trick themselves into believing that they're having a good time. It's like taking the new song for the first time and putting it over the original movie. It doesn't work.
Are we only food for slaughter?
She's talking about things that are not happening in the animated movie. Also, is Sebastian a composer in this version, or is everyone a musical genius for no reason? The guy conducts 2 giant orchestras with Under the Sea and Kiss the Girl, but he's not a musician anymore. By making him a composer in the original movie, it gives an in-universe explanation as to how he can do that, which makes the scene even better. All of this is lost in the reimagined version. Sure, it's not a big deal, but it's one of the many inexplicable changes that just make the new movie slightly worse than the original. A change that is a big deal on the other hand is Ariel's attitude towards the song.
Music is to me. What do they call a lot of style?
Why is she singing, dancing and enjoying herself? Does anyone at Disney understand what the point of the scene is in the original? Ariel wants to go above the sea and Sebastian is trying to convince her to stay under. Under the Sea is Sebastian's attempt at countering Ariel's Part of Your World song about wanting to live above the sea. It's a brilliant way to clash 2 points of view and resolve a plot point through the power of music. This is how you mix a song and a story together to write a musical film. Ariel enjoying the music is not the problem. Ariel singing and dancing isn't even the problem. The problem is that she's singing and dancing until the last 8 seconds of the song and suddenly leaves for seemingly no reason with a smile on her face literally 6 seconds before the end. It would have been fine if she only sang during the first verse and then stopped to show that even though she likes it here, she wants more. But oh no, we need the actress to sing all the time, so she sings and dances until the end and it contradicts the plot. The character doesn't want to stay under the sea. Making her sing until the end of the song proves that Disney fundamentally doesn't understand or doesn't care about the story. It also makes the joke at the end not very funny.
Somebody got to nail that girl's fins to the floor.
In comparison, in the original, it takes Sebastian 45 seconds to realize he's singing alone. The song simply doesn't match with what we're seeing of Under the Sea and of Ariel. Let's move on to Poor Unfortunate Souls. First, a word on the changes they made to the plot. In the original version, the deal is, she has 3 days to kiss the prince to remain human permanently. If she doesn't, she'll turn back into a mermaid and will belong to Ursula. That's the deal. The payment is her voice, because you can't get something for nothing. Kissing the prince would not give her her voice back, because that's not part of the deal. Just read the contract, it's one voice in exchange for the opportunity to try to become human. I'm insisting on it because I see a lot of confusion about it on the internet. Now in the new version it's more of a bet than a deal. It's the same idea, she had 3 days to kiss the prince to remain human permanently. If she doesn't, she'll turn back into a mermaid and will belong to Ursula. The reason why I'm calling it a bet is because of what she says next.
And you'll no longer have that siren song of yours.
Because that wouldn't be fair now, would it?
And then she says,
Don't worry, I'll keep it safe and soundless here with me. Don't worry, boys.
She doesn't stand a chance without this. A mermaid without her voice.
Ursula clearly took her voice because it would be too easy for Ariel to win the bet. There's absolutely no reason to believe that she won't get it back after 3 days. There's no payment. Also, calling her voice a siren song doesn't even make sense because hypnotizing a man wouldn't make it a kiss of true love. It's very annoying how they try to add a magical element to the siren voice, which can also be found in the new song Wild Uncharted Waters.
Your voice is like a siren that guides me.
It makes the whole plot about her voice, and the whole song of Eric seems about any random magical siren voice. Because in the original there's a reference to it, but it's more framed as a myth, and more importantly we're told she has a great voice and it has nothing to do with being a mermaid. In the new movie there's no mention of how beautiful her voice is, so there's nothing special about their relationship. We're led to believe it's just a mermaid hypnotizing a man and a man singing about fake true love. That's not romantic. If they really wanted to go the magical siren voice route, it would have made more sense to take away her ability to sing instead of her voice. It would have made for a different yet interesting story and would have even improved the new song for the first time that I'll talk about in a moment. 2 lines were changed to fit the new story.
Cut the scare from off your tail and drop the blood inside the bowl.
The changes are fine, except they forgot some lines.
It won't cost much. Just your voice.
No, it doesn't cost her voice, what are you talking about?
If you want to cross the bridge, my sweet, you've got to pay the toll.
What toll? Ursula isn't asking for anything. She made it clear that Ariel will get her voice back after the kiss. At no point did they say her voice was part of a toll. There's no payment. These lines simply don't work with the new plot. Now there's another big change from the plot I haven't talked about. Ursula put an amnesia spell on Ariel.
No matter how hard that girl tries, she won't remember she needs to get that kiss.
They changed one additional line to include the new spell, which is a nice detail. So now we've got a mermaid without a voice for 3 days who doesn't even know about the kiss. Why is Ursula wasting her time explaining the plot and making a deal if she's cheating that much? Just hold her hostage for 3 days and be done with it. It makes the plot and the villain's plan boring because there's no way for Ursula to lose. Unlike Under the Sea, this performance is fine, though there's certain issues. For example, I'm not sure why she says pathetic in front of her.
Pathetic. Pathetic.
The use of modern language in the middle is weird too.
I mean, I just gave you the premium package, kid.
Melissa gave a fairly good performance, but however much she tried, she still can't beat the animation. Just look at this 10-second clip. Ursula is pointing at her to emphasize that Ariel is the poor unfortunate soul she's singing about. The look of determination on Ariel's face, the cool magical pen, the lighting taking over the cave, the funny scroll with unreadable fine prints and the words for all eternity in big letters, the zoom on Ursula's face to show that she's getting what she wants, the look of shock from Ariel's friends, the way she signs the scroll without looking at it because she doesn't know what she's doing, the cool font with the magical writing, the way Ursula immediately takes the scroll from her, the lightning shape foreshadowing the end of the movie, the look on her face as the lighting changes. Now let's compare it with the remake.
This poem
She pulls out a scale, it looks disgusting. Her only expression is pain. Ursula immediately takes it from her, the lighting changes because she added an ingredient. She looks crazy, Ariel's friends are startled. And that's about it. There's not a lot of visual storytelling going on. This is just a downgraded version. There's one last tiny change I haven't mentioned yet about Poor Unfortunate Souls. They removed an entire verse. As I said before, the songs are part of the plot and the character development. Cutting these lines removes a lot of her personality and what makes her delightfully evil.
And don't underestimate the importance of body language.
Ursula is clearly evil. I don't understand why the bad guy isn't allowed to be bad. The whole point of this verse is to convince Ariel to go through with the plan. Removing it makes Ursula less deceitful. It makes Ariel look dumber because Ursula has no arguments, and it removes the message about the perceived value of women by certain men because she's no longer taking her voice away to just be a pretty face. It reminds me of the new Peter Pan where Disney just removed everything of value and instead of using the messages that are built into the story, they shoehorned in stupid new ones that don't even make any sense.
No, this magic belongs to no boy.
The reason why they removed it is because young girls might take Ursula's lines at face value. Sure, a lot of people are dumb or naive, but it's not a reason to remove any reference that could be misinterpreted because you'll end up with a story that can fit on a post-it note. Can't have evil people who are clearly evil say evil things. Funny world we live in. It's really enjoyable to get a villain that is evil after all the garbage fake villains Disney produced, but this statement really shows how they want to move away from evil characters, which is a very stupid idea. The best way to make young kids understand your messages is to make the good guys really good and the bad guys really bad. Don't try to put any nuance into it, nobody wants that anyway because you suck at it, Disney. The most annoying part about them removing it is how they justify the change, which is completely silly. Just say you removed the lines because they are not required by the plot anymore. There's no contract, it's just a bet, and she doesn't have to convince her to give up her voice forever. Now let's talk about the one song that was so reimagined it disappeared.
How I love les poissons, love to chop.
Where is the French chef? Where is my representation, Disney? Les Poissons was replaced with a new song about Ariel called For the First Time.
As I climb for the first time, jump for the first time.
They added 2 lines about fish as a nod to the chef song, but it doesn't work.
Are we only food for slaughter?
These 2 lines are just here for some reason, don't really have anything to do with Ariel as she won't be eaten, and then are completely forgotten because she starts singing about herself again. What they could have done instead is cut to Sebastian in the kitchen and give him a verse. Just remove these because for a movie claiming to reimagine poor unfortunate souls to be more modern, corsets are not exactly an issue for young girls. Giving a verse to Sebastian is very fitting to the theme of the song For the First Time, as it is his first time in a kitchen filled with humans who want to eat him. But no, instead he is put in a box when the music starts and shows up after the song ends. Sebastian claims he had the most humiliating day of his life, but we have no idea what happened to him. I find it also very funny how Scuttle casually ate a fish like it's a joke earlier, which undermines the message. These lines don't work too, but for a different reason.
Realize the price that you paid with your voice.
What price are you talking about? You didn't pay anything.
Those sacrifices you made for a choice that you can't undo.
What sacrifices are you talking about? You didn't sacrifice anything. Why are you talking about your voice? You'll get it back whether you win or lose the bet. So they wrote a new song that could have easily taken into account the changes in the plot, unlike Poor Unfortunate Souls, and somehow they still made a mistake. Some lines are a bit odd considering Ariel has no knowledge of the human world and even has trouble remembering human words in part of your world.
Walking around on those, what do you call them? Oh, feet.
This issue doesn't exist in the animated movie because Ariel only speaks again at the end.
This gravity's pulling me down.
How do you know about gravity?
Squeezing the shoes in the corset, it's tight.
Corset and shoes are words she could have picked up in the castle, but the aggressive nature of the montage doesn't really make it look like she had time to talk about it.
Like a fish out of water.
Weird expression for someone who's never been out of water.
Some women choose this, I guess it's alright.
How do you know? Again, they accounted for this in part of your world with a simple betcha because she doesn't actually know what she's talking about. You may be wondering how Ariel can sing without a voice. Well, that's because she's singing inside her head. Why? I don't know, but it's silly. Making her sing while she lost her voice undermines the point of the story. Hearing her while she can't talk reduces the impact of her choice on the audience. That's why I said earlier that it would have been better to take away her ability to sing instead of her voice, because this song breaks the silence set by the plot. Doing it once would have been fine, but they did it twice. This is too much. If they really wanted the actress to sing, they could have given a song to Ursula with Ariel's voice instead, which they did a little with Vanessa's trick, but I'm not sure why the lyrics went from this
Soon I'll have that little mermaid and the ocean will be mine.
to this. I guess both versions convey the same idea, but if you want your actress to sing, you could give her more than la-da-dees and la-da-das. The most annoying part of For the First Time is that it's actually good. The performance, orchestra, purpose in the story, staging, editing, lyrics, there's even colors. Maybe, just maybe, if they made original stories instead of remaking old ones, people wouldn't be so harsh in their criticism because no one wants to see changes in songs they've listened to all their lives. Disney's just wasting the talent of the people working on these movies with these remakes that will never come close to the originals. I said it in another video, but I still can't believe they're remaking Moana 7 years after the animated movie came out. The next song is Kiss the Girl.
And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss the girl.
Disney updated 3 lines to include consent. They changed these
It don't take a word, not a single word.
to these.
Use your words, boy, and ask her.
That's great, Disney, but there's just one problem. By addressing it, you just made the whole song awkward. Now you're actively telling people to overthink this silly song. You don't want to open that can of worms when the music is about animals trying to manipulate a boy into kissing a girl. Because the problem isn't that they changed the lines, it's that they didn't change the rest. You're talking about consent, but then the lines are
She don't say a word, and she won't say a word until you kiss the girl. Kiss.
which makes sense in the context of the story, but it does send a conflicting message to the 5-year-olds who are allegedly too dumb to understand that Ursula is evil. You must use your words to ask her, but she won't say a word until you kiss her. You see what I mean? It's silly. By turning the deal with Ursula into a bet, it hurts poor unfortunate souls, but it actually fixed one of the issues with Kiss the Girl. In the original, the lines, "and she won't say a word until you kiss the girl," don't make any sense. The contract clearly stated that she'll never get her voice back even after the kiss. I guess we finally found a positive in all this. Anyway, now the new lines make the song awkward, but also kind of creepy because the lyrics start nice and cute, talk about consent, and end like this. And listen to the song. The song say kiss the girl, do what the music say, you got to kiss the girl, you've got to kiss the girl, oh don't you wanna kiss the girl, you've gotta kiss the girl, go on and kiss the girl. Almost like we've lost the consent bit in favor of, dare I say, a more aggressive approach. And we're not done yet, oh no, the best part is yet to come. Remember how Ursula put an amnesia spell on Ariel to make her forget about the kiss? Well, it completely changes the dynamic of the scene. Now it's a song about 2 animals trying to push a man that might not be consenting to go on and kiss the girl that might not be consenting too. Because in the original she wanted to kiss him to remain human, so she was consenting. In this version she doesn't know about the kiss. Maybe she wants to take it slowly. And I'm not just saying this. Look at her reaction. She's clearly unsure about it. Now he's the one trying to kiss her, but somehow we are told it's more appropriate than the original song because they changed 2 lines. Why is he even the one making advances when he's supposed to be faithful to the woman who saved him? You literally gave the guy a new song to show how much in love he is, and at the same time you make him want to kiss a random woman. What kind of logic is that? Also, now that Ariel doesn't remember about the kiss, shouldn't the song be named Kiss Each Other instead of Kiss the Girl? Why is Sebastian singing to the prince and not to both? They both need to be on board now. It's almost like you should have written a completely new song. Crazy how updating 2 lines changes everything. In the end, he never asks for consent. Not here, not here, not here, not ever. If they really needed to update the song, they should have just removed the lines. Because even you, Disney, realize how silly it is to ask for consent in your fairy tale about love at first sight. If you do, you'll have incredibly romantic scenes like this one from The Willow Show.
And in about 10 seconds, I'm gonna kiss you. So if you don't want that...
Yes, I would be very into that.
Are you sure?
When is season 2 coming out again? Oh yeah, that's crazy. And what really annoys me is how the people working on the film are framing the change. There are some changes in Kiss the Girl because people have gotten sensitive about the idea that Eric would in any way force himself on Ariel. It's important to remember that the culture and sensitivities have changed over the last 35 years. No, what you should say is that you had to change the lines to fit with your unnecessary changes. Eric is not forcing himself in any way on Ariel in the original movie. What are you talking about? The reasons why these lines are not offensive in the original are because the lyrics are supported by the animation that clearly shows that she's consenting, hence the line "it don't take a word." They're not drunk in a back alley at 2 AM where asking for consent seems more than appropriate. Ariel is the one making a move, she's arguably the one forcing herself on him, and the song is sung by Sebastian, who already knows Ariel is consenting. All of this proves that you're making things up. No actual human thinks Eric forced himself in any way on Ariel. Well, except journalists, of course. The only movie where people might think that is the one you've just made, because in your quest to fix the original song, you guys changed the plot and the lyrics and ended up making it worse. I don't see how this teaches kids consent when the whole song is about two animals tricking a boy and a girl into kissing. Stop acting like there's something wrong with the original movie. Just say you had to tweak the lines because it sounded creepy with the new plot, and I would be less annoyed by your complete and utter lack of understanding of the movie and the music you composed. You only said this to generate a fake controversy, because the only way for Disney to be relevant is to be a clown show on the internet. Also, I don't know why there's Aquafina singing in the middle. I'm not a musician, but it sounds awful, which completely ruins the mood and the music. There's someone yelling in the middle of the song in the official soundtrack now. Who wants to hear that? Speaking of horrible sounds, let's end the video with the Scuttlebutt. This is actually the last song of the movie because Disney wanted to save the best for last. Don't worry, I won't make you listen to it because unlike Disney, I don't hate you, at least not yet. This song is very long for no reason. Only 3 lines matter and I'm being generous. 2 minutes just to learn about the wedding is a waste of time. This is the only song that can't justify its own existence. Every song has a purpose, even the new ones, but the Scuttlebutt doesn't achieve anything that couldn't have been told in 2 lines. Scuttle is supposed to be the comic relief. I'm sure they could have given her funny lines instead. If the writers really felt like a song was needed for that, I wonder why they didn't turn the movie into one giant musical. Why isn't there a song about how she opened the door for the first time? Or about the Dingle Hopper? Or when Scuttle tells them about Ursula? I don't get why they crammed so many songs into the movie. Perhaps the butt line or the who said what, who does that could be funny to children, but overall the lyrics are very childish and ineffective compared to the other songs. The modern lyrics and the style are completely out of place with the rest of the movie. I don't really understand the artistic intent behind it because it isn't really clever or interesting. When you look at a silly song like Mr. Smith, it's clear the guy cannot sing, but it doesn't destroy your hearing.
Pirate's life is a wonderful life, a sailing over the sea.
In fact, it's the opposite. The silly voice is what makes the scene. It also lasts only 10 seconds. There's a difference between funny bad and unbearably bad. The movie knows the song is bad, but it doesn't make it better or funny. They've also made the joke about the bird's inability to sing not once, not twice, but 3 times. Just stop. It was supposed to be a 10-second joke, not a full song. In conclusion, great singing undermined by unnecessary changes to the plot, underwhelming visuals, and stupid reimagined lyrics. It's far more enjoyable to listen to the songs on YouTube with a still image and no context, because the movie makes them worse. That's all there is to it.